Yes, today we will do the first chapter of the income tax, that is the residential status. What do you mean by residential status? The tax which is implies on the assessee. Assessee is the person who pays the tax. So it decide on the basis of their residential status. Okay. So on the basis of the only residential status, we impose the tax whether the person will be taxable or not. Whether the income earned by the foreign national in India will be taxable in India or not, it depends on the residential status. So, the taxable entity may be an individual, a Hindu dairy family, a firm, an association of person, joint stock company, or any other person. So, first is we will discuss one by one. First is the residential status of the individual. Individual is the person who pays the tax individually. He may be the resident of the India, he may be the non-resident of India. Now how will it will be defined, how it will come to know whether he is a resident or non-resident, it will depend on the there is some conditions. So now if the person individual is resident in India, then he may be resident in two or more country at the same time. Okay. Now how we will determine the residential status of an individual? In this, he has to complete at least one of the following two basic conditions. First, he should be in India in the previous year for a period of 182 days or more, or he is in India for a period of 60 days or more during the previous year, and 365 days or more during the four previous year. So this is the two condition in which he or she has to fulfill one of the two condition. If he satisfy one of the condition, he or she will be called a resident of India. Now, there is an exception to the second condition. If the person who lives in India during the previous year for the purpose of employment outside India, or any person who is a foreign national of Indian origin who becomes on visit to India during the previous year. Okay, so this is an exception to this two condition is not apply for the condition second is not apply for this persons who is Indian citizen who lives in India, and the Indian citizen who comes on a visit to India during the previous year. So for these people 60 days condition is not applicable. Now once it comes to know whether the person is resident or non-resident, now the individual will be considered as a he will be we will have to determine whether the person is ordinary or non-ordinary. Then to determine that status, we will have to decide he should be resident in India at least 2 years out of the 10 previous year. Second is he has been in India for a period of 730 days or more during the 7 previous year. ठीक है, this is the two condition which he has to follow both. If he does not follow both the condition, he will be called a non-ordinary resident of India. So it is not essential the stay should be at the same place. Where is the person in India only for a part of the day, or for calculating number of days in India, days of entry and exit should be included. Now how to determine the residential status of HUF, Hindu Undivided Family? Hindu Undivided Family is said to be resident in India if control and management of its affair is wholly or partly situated in India. Next is control and management is situated at a place where the head and the seat and the directing power are situated. Now the person, if it comes to know whether he is a resident, then we will have to determine that the person is ordinary resident or non-ordinary resident. For this, the person should be resident in India for at least 2 out of the 10 previous year, or second condition is he should be in India for a period of 730 days or more during the last 7 previous year. So these are the two condition. If he karta will satisfy one of this condition, so he will be called non-ordinary. If he satisfy both the condition, then he or she will be called a ordinary resident. Now next identity is firm or association. Now how we determine the residential status of firm or association of person. A partnership firm and association of persons are said to be resident of in India if control and management of their affairs are wholly or partly situated within India during the relevant previous year. They are treated as non-resident in India if control and management of their affairs are situated wholly outside India. But it means their control and the management of their affair of the firm is not situated in India. If it is situated in India, then it will be called a resident of India or resident in India. If it does not, the control and management is not situated in India, then it will be treated as non-resident. Next, how to determine the residential status of the company. And Indian company is always resident in India. A company other than Indian company is resident in India only if during the previous year place of effective management is in India. However, a company other than Indian company is treated as non-resident if during the previous year place of effective management is not in India. It is same to the form of association in which if company is resident in India only if their effective management is situated in India. If the place of effective management is not situated in India, then that company will be called treated as a non-resident in India, and the tax applicability will be according to the non-resident. Next is residential status of any company. The second condition is a place where place of effective management means a place where key management and commercial decisions that are necessary for the conduct of the business of an entity as a whole in substance are made. वो place जहाँ key management and commercial decisions are taken out, this is the place of effective management. If it is in India, it will be called a resident. If it is not in India, then it will be called a non-resident. Residential status of any other person similar to association of person. So as per section 6, every other person is resident in India if control and management of his affairs wholly or partly situated within India during the relevant previous year. On the other hand, every other person is non-resident in India if control and management of its affairs is wholly and situated outside India. So this is the similar to the association of person or the firm. For other persons, for Indian income, it will be taxable whether the person is resident or not resident doesn't matter. Foreign income is taxable in India only if it is earned by a resident in India but not taxable in India if it is earned by a non-resident. Now, these are the incidents of the tax and scope of the total income. Once it is determined whether the company, whether the individual, whether the association of person, whether the Karta of Hindu undivided family is resident or non-resident, then ordinary resident and non-ordinary resident, then tax applicability will be like this. Okay, if income received or deemed to be received in India, whether it has accrued from anywhere, then ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident and non-resident will be entitled to pay the tax. Now, second situation is income arises or is deemed to arise in India, whether it received in India or outside India, but it has accrued or arise in India, then in case ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident and non-resident will be entitled to pay the tax. Now next situation is income which accrues or arises outside India and received outside India from a business controlled from a business set up in India. It means the income we are receiving in outside India, we are receiving in outside India, which are accruing outside India in a business which is controlled from the India. Okay, then in this case, ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident and will be entitled to pay tax, but non-resident will not be entitled to pay tax. Next situation is income which accrues or arises outside India from any other sources. It means income we are receiving outside India, we are this is arises in India, but it is not from a business and profession, it is from other sources. So in this case, only ordinary resident will be entitled to pay tax. Non-ordinary resident and non-resident will not be entitled to pay the tax. Okay, now next situation is income which accrues or arises outside India and received outside India during the year but remitted to India during the past year. It means it has received outside India, it has accrued outside India, but in the previous year it was remitted to India. So in this case, ordinary resident, non-ordinary resident, and non-resident, three of them are not entitled to pay the tax. There is no any tax liability on them in this situation. So income received in India, receipt of income first received in India after it is accrued or earned and taxable for all. Next is income deemed to be received in India. It seemed to be, if it not actually received but considered as received by him. Okay, for example, like interest accrued, okay, but it is not yet received. Next is income accruing or arising in India, whether the right to receive the income is invested to assessee. For example, salary accrues where the service is rendered, but it has not rent accrues where the property is situated, but it has not received. So this is income accruing or arising in India. Next is income deemed to accrue or arise in India. It means actually accrue outside India but are deemed to be accrued in India. For example, salary paid by the government of India to its employee posted abroad, or person paid outside India but service rendered in India. Now next is income deemed to be accrue or arise in India. In this case, जैसे for examples, what are the incomes comes in this? जैसे interest, royalty, technical services fees, interest, royalty, technical services fees for the purpose of business and profession in India, interest, royalty, technical services fees for the purpose of business and profession outside India. Now next is income accruing but received outside India. If such income arises from a business which is controlled from India or a profession set up in India, it is taxable in the case of resident and NOR. Okay, if there is no business connection or income arises from any other source, then it is also taxable only in case of resident. Past untaxed income later on remitted to India is exempted for all. Thank you so much. This is the residential status of all the SSC in India.